What's up? Today we are installing some chase lights on the Ranger Raptor from Diode Dynamics, baby. Let's get it. All right, before we get started in the video today, I want to do a big thank you to everybody that's been watching the channel, everybody that's been watching the Ranger Raptor. Got a new sponsor with Diode Dynamics. Those are the lights that we're going to be installing in the back. If you guys want to support the channel, use my code Davidfigs at checkout, and that will get you free shipping. Thank you again for everybody watching, and thank you Diode Dynamics, baby. Okay, so this is where I'm going to mount the chase lights, right here on that side, and on that side, just disregard the hockey gear. I was planning on putting them right here, but with the bracket and the light, it's actually touching the plastic on the side. And so maybe later on, if and when I get a chase rack, I'll move the spots for the chase lights, but for now, we're going to do it right here. One thing that I noticed, which is a little concerning, this side of the bed is much closer to the actual truck than that side. So usually when I'm buying these trucks used, like that's the first thing to look at, because that could be a potentially bent frame or you know, the bed wasn't put on properly. But we just realized when we were putting these bolts in that this is much tighter than the other side. So that's the first thing. I'm gonna sort of do some research on that, and if anybody knows, please comment. But what we did is that we got some pretty sticky adhesive, because it's so hard to get in there, on the bottom of the bolt that comes with the kit for these lights, and we were able to slide it in, tape it up, and I put the nut on top. So that was step one, and now we're going to get the lights installed, and then we're going to show you where to wire it for auxiliary switches. So with this cord, the wiring for the backlight on these chase lights, it comes, I think both lights actually come, the A-pillar lights and all wiring kits come with an extra switch toggle. But because the Ranger Raptor already comes with pre-wired auxiliary switches, you don't need this. So I'm just going to take this out, put this away, and save it for later. All right, we are underneath the hitch. As you can see, that's the hitch wire right here. All the way up here, I took it down, is auxiliary switches 3 and 4. So I unclipped them, and they're right here. I took the tape off. Now, as you can see, let me try to separate these out for you. They're supposed to be orange and I forget the colors. They're supposed to be two different colors, so you can decipher which one is auxiliary 3 and which one is auxiliary 4. I don't know if this is a my truck problem or a Ranger Raptor problem, but these are the exact same color. Okay? These are actually color coordinated. So let's see if I can find a better spot. So black, gray, black, green, those are the grounds. The two brown are auxiliary switches. Now, the problem with the Diode Dynamics harness for the SS3s is it has a special feature of backlight, meaning you can flip an auxiliary switch and you can have just like the backlighting on, then you flip another auxiliary switch and you can have the full power light on. The problem is, for that to work, the power, the power needs to go to the engine bay. There is not sufficient enough power from these auxiliary switches to get that done. And this is just taped, I already forget which one auxiliary, but I taped it earlier because I tested it. Right? Because it has this fuse. You see that? So instead of having backlight on, let's say auxiliary 3 and then the full lights on auxiliary 4, I have to now turn on auxiliary 3, turn on auxiliary 4, and I have full power backlights. It was the only way to get it done because this wire is not long enough to go all the way to the engine bay. Okay? Now, here, let me pull these up. The blue is the backlight. Okay, so no backlight. I'm going to just zip tie this up out of the way. The yellow is the full power light. So I have the full power light in an auxiliary, and I have the actual power in the other auxiliary. That was the only way to get these lights to work. So it is what it is with a new platform, right? I think, first off, it's pretty cool they even have auxiliary switches back here. The only access point for auxiliary switches 3 and 4 are here. Everything else is in the engine bay. So 1, 2, 5, and 6. What I did is, you might be able to see it. I have the wire in here. You can see the bottom of it. Above the shock, through there, tucked in behind that, and it kicks out inside there all the way up to the backside. The other thing I did, you see those 2 zip ties? I tucked in the wire right behind this. Now, as you saw on the other side, that's a problem. That is a problem. So, 2 solutions. Get different brackets that extend this either higher up or further forward. Or my initial plan is just to mount them right here, right? Or right there at some point. But those are the amber lights plugged in. All right, so now we have the truck on. And let's see the finished product. So the other thing I will say, you can probably see a little bit. It's super bright. The lenses are identical. So you can see the flood on the left of both. The flood needs to be on the outside and the spots on the inside. So when I redo the lights, I'm going to flip the lenses as well. Not bad.